Hi everyone, welcome to the next video from this page from Small Victories by Johanna Basford. We're starting the second row today and we have 3 floors. I'll come in close so you can see we have these 3. We had 3 on the one above, look. So we have 3 again. Now when I'm doing this row, I'm going to look a little bit towards the colours up here so that I don't do one of these 2 colours again here, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. So I'm thinking here, rather than doing pink or purple, I can do red or orange or blue or yellow. Looking at the flower, I'm just thinking I want to do it red. There is no reason for that really, I don't think. That's just what my mind thinks that would look nice as a red flower. So I'm going to grab the middle cadmium red, this Polychromos, using the same pencils and just make a start. Now we can see the shape of the flower. We have this central part, we have these little dots. I'm not going to do those at the moment. I'm going to start on the petal and just do this lower bit here and then slightly fade it like that. Okay, try to go right up to the edge of the little circles, but I can't really see it that well. You'll be able to see it much better than me if you're watching on a big screen, because it'll be much more zoomed in. Although my camera is zoomed in, I can see it bigger on my screen. I would be able to if my screen wasn't so teeny tiny. So it looks the same on screen or on the page. I have before actually tried to look at the screen and colour rather than looking at the page. It's quite a strange thing to do. It feels very, very odd. Anyway, I'll do the best I can. Now I do feel I've been looking at these, and when I look at them with my eye from here, they all look neat and nice, but I know that on the thumbnails where it's really zoomed in, you can see scruffiness, and I think that's just where I can't see it when I do it, and I'm not too worried about it. And I think you shouldn't be looking at your artwork with magnifying glass. You know, they are small designs. It's going to be very difficult to keep them really neat. So I'm just doing the best that I can. I hope everyone's doing okay. It's sun's just come out here. I went for a walk. My son wanted to come for a walk too, which was nice. So we went out. He had this new route to show me that he's discovered. It's a route that I know, you know. I'm using the light cadmium red to finish these petals off. It's quite an orangey one. We'll see how it looks. Yeah, so instead of walking along the canal, we walked along the back of the railway line. And it's a lovely little lane. It's a pedestrian only route, as the canal is too. I mean, you can cycle on both. And the path though is tarmac. So if it's raining, it's a much better way to go. You don't get there's not so much mud. There is a little bit at times because of the leaf mulch and things like that from where it's completely tree lined on one side. One side's the railway line, but in the fence there's lots of weeds growing, which actually can be quite pretty depending on what they are. And then on the other side is a field and lots and lots of trees. So it's really quite pretty, as long as and even if a train comes by, it's quite fun, I always think. So the little dots, I'm looking at this now thinking anemone, and if that was the case, the little dots would be black and the centre would be white. I don't really want to do the centre white, I want to colour it. But I am going to do the dots in black. I think that will work. So here's my black. So we didn't see a lot of wildlife, not even many birds or a few pigeons, but we saw lots of lovely trees. There were these ones, my son kept saying, there's grapes on the floor. I was like, they're not grapes, they're like a cherry. He's like, no, someone's dropped some grapes. And I stood on one to show him. And he said, can't be cherry, there's no stone in the middle. But they were red, but inside was like a thick orange gunge. So I was like, that's not a grape. Grapes wouldn't really ooze out like that. So we didn't really know. So I've just got to wipe my nose and then we'll do the centres. Excuse me. I think I want to go for some oranges and then reds. Oranges and then yellows, sorry. Pencils are in the wrong order. So I'm going to grab this. This is the dark chrome yellow, but in my mind it's very orangey. And I'm going to use it for the very edge of each of these central areas. And it does, I think it goes down quite orangey. So we walked that way to start with. And then you have to cross the river. There's a little wooden bridge, which is as lovely as it sounds. And the river bubbles under. It's very shallow at that point, so you don't, you know, if people go there to paddle. This is the dark cadmium yellow. And there's some stones which were the remains of an old mill there, which you can sit on or climb on or whatever, if you want to, yeah, just on the path. And then we went along, carried on along the canal path after that to go towards town. But it was shut again. It was last time we went along there. I think I'm going to use permanent green olive for the start of each leaf. Yeah, there's a wall along there because there's a lot of buildings along the edge of the canal. They've got a tall wall. It's being repaired at the moment. There's a cement mixer on the path. So they've closed the path off for the safety of the people walking, and we had to go out and walk into the road, pavement, not in the road, along the road for a bit, but it was all good. And then we got the prescriptions we needed to pick up, so it was easy. And went to the supermarket, got a few bits that I hadn't been able to get, still didn't have them, but we had to get some alternatives, which was fine. My son said this will do and this will do. I was like, yeah, you're right. Earth green yellowish next. And then we came back along the same route, which was nice. Earth green yellowish, she likes that way. It's a little bit further, I think, but that's okay. He wanted a nice walk. I came back and I looked at how many steps I'd done. You know, it's always quite interesting because there was an article actually last week I only look at the BBC news website. I don't buy a newspaper or anything. And it said that the 10,000 steps figure was just made up by a Japanese company who made pedometers. And it's just arbitrary and it doesn't mean anything. And I knew this already. But what I didn't know was what was a good figure, if you know what I mean. I'm pondering backgrounds. Give me a minute. I was going to do blue, but we've got blue up here. So we haven't done a purple background yet, or a pink. I don't know how well they're going to match grey. Let's do a brown. Don't go yuck. You don't have to do it. Let's do this one. This is a nougat. We'll use it really lightly. Oh, you probably can't see that at all. We'll do it really lightly and then see how it looks. So yes, so it said actually a small study had been done to look at how useful it was to do different amounts of steps for different sort of health conditions, because obviously this is the reason that we're doing it, is because we're being told it's good for our health, and you know. And it said that once you reach 7,000, most health conditions don't get better. So basically, if you can do 7,000, then you're doing enough for most conditions. However, for your heart health, the more you do, the better. I'm going to go around the edge of our items like I have done on previous ones. See how it looks. So that was quite interesting. And I don't usually manage to do 10,000. It's quite difficult, even when the boys were young and I was doing a school run every day. So I was walking up to school with them in the morning, then coming home, then going back up to school in the afternoon to pick them up and coming back home. If I did that, even when I did that, I didn't do enough steps. And then if I went into town after I'd done it, I just about did enough. But of course, we do walk around the house as well. Some people more than others. This is the dark sepia, and I don't carry my phone in my pocket, which is what I use for my step counting. Now I'm going to do a little bit of shadowing. You don't have to do this bit if you don't like it. When I look close up, I think this bit looks messy, but when I look from a distance, I think this bit helps. So I mean, you might be able to do it more accurately than me and be able to see it better when you put the colour down. So it's up to you really. But yes, so it was quite tricky to reach 10,000. But knowing that obviously the more you do, the better to some extent. Obviously you don't want to injure yourself or overdo it and then get too tired to do it the next day and that sort of thing. That's just a little bit silly. And I think it can be tempting to do that sometimes. I'm looking at the little dots in the centre of our flower. I'm wondering whether to do any more dots with this dark sepia. I think I'm going to do some between... I'm so sorry. Between the black ones that Johanna's drawn and the black ones I've done, I think I'm going to do a few in there. Need quite a sharp pencil. So, yes, I think it can be tempting to think I just need to do loads and loads and then feel guilty because fitting it in every day isn't the easiest thing to do. So it's quite a relief to know that actually any is better than none, and just do what you can manage. And you can slowly build up if you need to. Right, I think we are done with that one. I'm just looking at it in the screen. I think it looks fine. So I'm going to leave that. Oh no, I've just noticed here, dark sepia. There, these overlapping bits. Oh, I think I've made that look scruffy. But never mind. Probably all does if I look at it too closely. But there we go. There is that one done. Yeah, thank you for watching today. I'm looking at tomorrow's already. It looks blue to me, but I'm not going to do it blue. See if you can guess, because I often do these blue. Have a little guess in the comments of today's video what colour you think I'm going to do it, and then you might see if you're right. Okay, well thank you for watching today. I hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.